ready to roll here. Monday, open the work session, September 26, 2022 at noon. And just want to mention that this meeting will be recorded. Are there any public comments? Okay. Then we're going to take a look at the invited talk here to share with us a presentation.
Okay, of course I'm here asking for money, sorry. So I'm asking for 3 different funding this year. The number 1 is our regular operating.
Actually, you did hand it to me for a reason. No, they're both Patricia.
They're all 3
They're all, yeah, they all have her name on it.
Yeah, sorry, Ben.
Since she's
Feels so
the chairperson.
ridiculous. Isn't that great?
So our total that we have to have in our local match for our operating is $59,346, and of that I am requesting $48,546 from the county. I am reaching out to the local municipalities. If they do what they did last year, that's where I'm at, and I'm hoping I can get a little more this year, which will drop that, but I can't guarantee that. My next request is for 2 new gilligs. The last time I was here, I asked for quite a bit of money, and with the state's help, I have been able to get it down to $6,346. And I know there has been a lot of talk about our buses not getting utilized. In the reports that I gave you, I actually took snapshots from each of our 3 routes on different times, and it has at least a good 12, 13 people on the buses. And that's including walkers, and a little bus would not be able to handle that. And I've also, in the back page of that report, I gave each of you a copy of our monthly ridership by week. I don't have days, but I do have weeks. It's on the very back of the report. That will show you how much it is, getting utilized. I can't say each run how many's on there, because we don't keep a track like that, but we do daily. So they are getting used, and we just don't know what times the buses are going to be filled. But I do ask sometime, maybe you take the time to ride our buses, check it out. I know there's, they go by here and maybe there's only 2 people, but you didn't see it at Walmart when everybody got off the bus.
How much these Gillig buses, how many people does it hold?
It holds 30.
30.
Mm-hmm. And when we were at Jefferson DeFreeze riding our buses through the summer, we had close to 30 on our buses during those times.
But on average, like this is 13 passengers, this is 8 passengers, and this is 9.
Right. And that was just some snapshots that I was able to find without going through day by day. And these buses will last. I won't be requesting any money from you guys in the future, because by the time these have met their useful life, I'm out of work. Retired. So it's, and the buses cost they're over $400,000 now, and that's per bus. So I'm just asking a little bit of money from the county for these buses. Like I said, this will be it. We won't have to purchase any more for at least 15 years. And then my last request is concerning the radio system for us and connecting it with 911. This is also funded by federal and state money. So as of right now, the price we were quoted was $960,330, and of that I'm requesting $6,194. This will give us better service throughout the county for our drivers to reach us and us to reach them that we don't have right now. We can't even reach them when they're in the state hospital grounds. So this will help a lot, and Ken probably has a little bit to say
it'll help us as well. So what them joining StarNet gives us is the opportunity to speak directly with their buses should we need them in a disaster situation, but also what they're bringing to the table through their $960,000.
$960,000.
What that brings to the table is expanded capacity on our network, and what I mean by that is it allows more radios to operate in one space. So by them expanding the StarNet capacity, if we were to have a major incident, say in Warren, more of our radios could use the towers near Warren because they're bringing capacity to the table. So that amount of money really increases our capability fivefold, sixfold.
Right.
So
If the state ever gets itchy with us, it's about that. And so you're gonna have to buy a system one way or the other. You might as well get one using that money that enhances us. But totally worth $6 grand maybe.
correct. And this also potentially helps with the Sugar Grove conversation that we've all been talking about, expanding coverage there. This all plays together into one large project.
Do you know what we fund from an operational budget today? Like you're requesting $48,546 for next year. Is that about the same, more, less?
It's an increase of 5% each year. That's what the state makes us do. We have to increase 5% each year.
Until what point? Is there like a point where they stop that?
Until we are at 15% of our total operating budget per fixed route.
Yeah. I can't remember what year that was because it's not that far off.
No, I think it's gonna be a while yet before we actually get there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then are you intending to present at any of the municipalities about their share and what's going on in their communities with
Yes.
your bus?
Yes.
So I think we talked about that last year, and I'm not quite sure how that all worked, but I think it's probably easy, for people to say, hey, we're not supportive, but I think if you can share some of the statistics associated with their areas, that would be helpful. All right.
I would love to see before, I know I was the one that's kind of driven that in the past because I'm one of those from a rural community that doesn't have the fixed route anywhere near me. And I hear complaints from particularly people on the western side. That said, I would be willing to back off of that if I could see essentially what you would be asking, what would be fair, what's your proposal to all of those municipalities that are on the fixed route. And if it looks unworkable, then I could possibly be swayed to just drop all the municipalities. I'm just tired. I'm basically tired of this fight because it's too much to ask for you to go wrangle up all these elected officials because they won't play ball. So I guess what I'm saying is, as unfair as I think it is to those of us that are in the outer regions that don't benefit from it, I just don't think you're going to be able to do what I've been asking, so it's not your fault.
We do, I don't know, we do get from Sheffield, Youngsville, Pleasant Township, Lake Township, and Commonwealth Township. I've reached out to Meade Township,
It's
and
like 500 each, right? There's no formula.
there's no formula right now, no. The city
Right.
is
So what I'm
7,500.
asking, I guess, of you is, what would that formula be?
Okay.
Based on population,
On population.
rider usage, whatever, of
Okay.
the actual people that live in the municipalities on the fixed route. That's what I would like to see, I guess.
Okay. I can do that.
And are you thinking about changing any of the contributions by the people who ride the bus? I don't know, are you thinking in your operational budget about increasing the fee?
Can you?
I don't know.
We actually just raised our fee starting July 1st.
Okay.
We went 25 cents. We're supposed to do it by inflation and that. So starting July 1st, it went to $1.25 per rider. And then we did over the summer, actually late spring, early summer, we started going down to Pleasant Valley Trailer Park and picking up some ridership in that area as well. So kind of moving that way. Hopefully eventually maybe we could get another route. But driver shortages is a huge problem that, everybody has a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Employees right now, so. But, eventually if we could get another route, that would be great.
And just, and the fair doesn't count as a match.
No,
Right.
that's just
Yeah.
revenue. Yeah.
But it would offset your operating budget in general, right?
It would help with our budget
Yeah.
because we got the extra money.
That's right.
Yeah.
State
Still
still
have to-
says this is the number that you guys come up with.
Yes.
From local match, meaning us.
Yes.
That's what it means. All right. Is there any other comments or questions for Wendy?
You know, I just wanted to say really quick that it's also our intention, because we talked about this at the board, to move forward with like a strategic plan for the TAWC. You know, the intention is to try to get grant funding for that, and the grant windows are between now and the spring. So my hope is that next year we'll be able to do a strategic plan for them so that we can identify some of these like opportunities for different funding, different setups with the transportation, especially when you're talking about, you know, to Ben's point, you know, regions that are less affected by the public transportation that could use we could use an option, but don't have one currently because a bus route to them isn't feasible, but there might be other options, so. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Relatively painless this year.
All right. Yes.
This is all Lisa, right?
Yep, this is always.
Yeah, except for the Northwest Services Generator Agreements
Is that you?
and the long proposal for next year.
Well, we can start there and then just move our agenda around a little bit here. Let's start with the lawn care agreement.
It's,
And it went up by $100.
Okay. $100
From last year.
for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they're looking for up to 26 mows. Courthouse would be $100 each time, and raise items would be $15 each time. And anything extra would be $35 per employee hour, which we do not have them do.
Right. Could we actually mow Zidonics ourselves?
But they take care of the flowers.
It's the fun. This might be, it's not a big deal, $15 for 26, but I thought just, yeah. It's a little bit of money, but I'm thinking, well, maybe that would offset the increase.
Right.
I don't see why not, we used to.
Okay.
We used
And
to
I
do
think
all
that-
of it with inmates, so.
Right. Well, we probably need a bit better plan, a little more lead time if we're gonna change the strategy of something like that, so. Who does it? Okay.
All the generator agreements we're doing, this includes jail, courthouse, 911 building, and the 4 tower sites, so that they will all end at the same time.
Oh, good.
And they're 2-year agreements.
Okay.
For the jail and the courthouse, it would be, the unit price per generator service inspection is $870. For the 911 building is $1,170. And I called Mr. Hagenberg to find out why there was such a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because 911 only has 1 generator also. Well, it's the type of generator. It has a dual system, so
Oh,
it takes more to do an inspection. And it takes more filters, it takes more oil, and that's why the price difference. The towers are $380 each.
okay.
And then they will all be 2-year agreements, and they'll all end December of 2024.
Okay. Very good.
So
Is
those
there any pricing changes, or is this is
No,
Okay.
and those will be on Wednesday's agenda.
Okay. Okay. All right, so we're through lawn care and the generator services agreement. So we'll bounce back up to JM Consultant and Direct Energy Review.
We've been,
Take it away, Lisa.
we've been working with Direct Energy and on gas supply. And currently we're at a rate of 0.2765. Of course, it's been going nuts over the last year. And right now we're at 0.5545 for 36 months.
Is that gonna
And
change?
that's actually better. They were giving me numbers that were in the 60 cents, so.
I just looked at the natural gas pricing environment, and locally, the prices just dropped by almost 50%. So we might want to revisit this one more time.
Okay.
I know the out months are around 50 cents at this, on the strip, but,
You're the expert in this.
well, I'm far from that. Far.
This is one of the lower prices I've seen since I've been working with him.
Yep. I want to revisit that. Can we revisit that one more time?
Yep, we expired on December 31st,
Right,
so
so
we
we've got
have another couple months.
Good. Sorry about that.
No problem.
All right, and then we've got cyber liability and data security.
Yeah, currently through CCAP, our liability insurance covers $25,000 for any kind of cyber threat. And so Bill and I have been talking for a long time about trying to find something that would cover us in the event of a ransomware or whatever, a cyber attack. And so we found $3 million for $15,846.40 annual premium. We can add another $2 million through another company for a total of $5 million. I think the total is $36,000 some change. I'm sorry, $32,655.11. If we go with a little bit higher deductible, retention, it saves us, if we go to 50,000, it saves us $1,000. If we go to 75,000, it saves us about $2,000 and about $3,000 if we went to 100,000. Bella and I have been working with the insurance company to ask all the pertinent questions because there's a lot of things we have to have in place that we do, but there's also some things we're gonna have to work on, like additional multi-factor authentication. And
Additional. How many, are we gonna have 3 different types of identification? Goodness gracious.
I mean, some of it he has built into the system too, so,
Okay.
but
Do we know what
there are
our,
still some
I mean-
improvements to make, although he's really got us in good space.
good. Do we feel we need $5 million in coverage? How did we come up with that? I guess, I don't know.
I think Will and I just looked at what other places have had to pay if they were attacked. And the 3 to 5 million was a good range,
Okay.
so that's why we have both options available to us.
The price of doing business keeps going up, doesn't it?
We could go back to paper.
We're working really hard to get away from that.
Are we getting more than one quote?
We've been working on this for the whole time I've been working here, and we've had a lot of no's from several different companies, and the Lloyd's company has been willing to work with us, and they have a really good reputation in this space. And so I would say we've done that,
Well,
even though our quotes have been no.
right,
So these essentially is the only company that's gonna write it right now. Well, and it only makes sense, I mean,
And there's a reason that CCAP only gives 25,000.
Well, you know, this is just commentary. I mean, you don't have a lot of insurance markets that are, insuring against, tortious acts like that. This would show criminal behavior. So I'm not surprised you're sitting here telling me that there's only one, vendor that's been willing to put a quote together.
well,
So-
and the type of entity that we are as well, I think that's a whole different story about, risk level that an insurance company is willing to take. So, that I don't know, but. All right, thank you, Lisa. We don't have any old items on our agenda, and nothing specific for policies and procedures at this juncture.
Pam and I are doing the safety security ones though, right? And may have that on the Wednesday agenda.
Safety and security and the indigent.
Yeah, the initial cremation policy, yeah. They look generally good, I just want to do them
Cool.
once more over, which maybe I can do in the budget hearings today.
Okay. We don't have that on the agenda though, right, for this week?
No.
Okay.
If we put them on the agenda, that'll be spring. We'll get it done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want them on?
We want to put them on the agenda.
If it's all right with the chair.
I'm happy with that. How do you feel about that, ma'am?
I did just get a resolution done, which
Okay.
isn't gonna be much, because just put the titles on it.
Okay, very good.
The upset sale is at 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you're running it, aren't you?
Okay.
I felt that. You want us there?
No, you're okay.
We have budget sessions starting at
Oh, that's
1,
right.
correct?
Oh.
Yeah, 1 to 3:30.
About, I think 46 properties on the list.
I think Phil said one more than last year, but,
There's a big rush at the end. I mean, there were over 100 at the beginning of last week, I think.
but
Wow.
I'm very happy about that. The more people can pay it off, it's less to worry about for the sale. All right, projects, anything to talk about this juncture?
Just one, which is the, Momentum in Harrisburg on Thursday. And we did a little hour-long plan on how we can better implement Laserfiche. As you know, we've spent a sizable amount of money upgrading Laserfiche and have a lot of features that have not really been fully utilized. In large part, that's my fault because I said that I would spend a lot of time on it. And the fact is, it's not really in my job description, and I should never have said that.
I totally agree with you.
And you said that. But anyway, they are getting us an estimate on the top major priorities, kind of what they call the, the low-hanging fruit in terms of things that could be automated. By way of example, one that they already have that's canned and would be easy to roll out is the contract management system. We already own it, it's just a matter of setting it up. With something like, we passed this contract from, let's say, any of the contracts we just talked about, gas, the electric, the, service contracts, et cetera. And it would automatically trigger reminders of when they're expired. It would store them in the same place. You would be able to run reports and see like how much they're costing, that kind of thing. So again, we already have this offer for it. It's just a matter
And
of
who's
getting
getting-
someone to actually, it's a vendor of Laserfiche. So Laserfiche has these verified value-added resellers, and there's only a couple in Pennsylvania left. We currently work with a company out of Texas, and it's just they're not able to come here and plan with us and implement something because they're remote. I mean, they're in Texas. So I was talking to the Pennsylvania firm and just wanted to get an estimate on what it would cost to come up and maybe the last couple quarters of this year, or last couple quarter of this year, knock out a bunch, and it sounded like a very reasonable amount of money that we could pull from, I don't know, Lisa, I talked to Lisa about it, it seemed like it was something we could fit in the budget somewhere. But I really want to know what it would cost in 2023 to do a full implementation of some of the things that, again, we've already bought and are sitting there. So that's forthcoming. I think that's the main project update from me.
Okay. Anything, Jeff?
Last week I got a notification, I wrote a grant for the WCDA for, it's basically a COVID-related grant, for $100,000. Half of it's gonna go to vaccine booster availability and awareness, and then the other half is gonna go to addressing mental health related to, I mean, it's not specifically necessarily COVID related, but like an outcropping of the pandemic. I'm meeting with Julie and Betsy this week to discuss how that money could potentially be utilized. One of the thoughts I had was potentially like a strategic planning project, especially with the new administrator coming on board, to kind of maybe engage with the school district and others to talk about how we can address mental health, especially in the youth population. So the reason I bring it up is if you have ideas of stuff related to that, love to hear about it and try to incorporate that, because the money is very, doesn't have many strings associated with it, so.
No likelihood is good that we'll get it, or the WCDA will get it.
Well, it's been awarded, like, so we're getting
Okay, we
it.
did get it, okay.
So they should
Got
be getting a check within the next week or two. So we can move forward with it whenever, and it'll be, I think that'll be something that would be good to everybody put their heads together on.
Okay. And then the ARP grant, RFP is out, and those are due, I believe, September 30th, correct?
Yes.
That's 2 days, so we'll see who,
You heard any of these?
No, I did get an email from Kim Slocum that said that she felt that there are multiple parties that would have some level of interest, so
Good.
I'm hopeful that's the case, and, you know, try to make sure we let everybody be as creative as possible when applying for those. So, all right, upcoming commissioner meeting and election board meeting. I don't think we have anything on the agenda for the election board, am I correct in that?
No, we do.
Oh, we do, I'm sorry, I have to pull it out here.
So,
With
The
the,
last-
date of adjudication, we have to move this since Friday is the holiday.
Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right.
so that has to be voted on.
Okay.
We want to do it on Thursday or Monday.
Monday, okay. Very good.
We can move it to Thursday? I mean, we can talk about it in the meeting, but just generally speaking, I've heard a lot of angst about, you know.
Most
moving
counties are
official-
going to Monday.
That's what I was
Right,
suggesting.
but there's been some public backlash over that. So I just didn't think it was legal to move it to Thursday. If that's an option, then maybe we should look at it.
I think the language is no later than, you know,
Tuesday.
the third day following the close of elections, you know.
No,
It has to
So
start.
that would be, that could be
I
Monday.
think the law, yeah, we started on Friday because that's the last day that it can start. But
right.
I think it can start it, I can pull it up if you want.
And if it,
I mean, I don't,
Well,
we can talk about it on
yeah,
one Wednesday.
yeah, why don't we talk about that on Wednesday, and we can, you know,
Okay.
make if you could get that information so we know legally what we're entitled to, but it sounds like if counties are moving to Monday in general. Okay. All right, I see that for the election, then the commissioners meeting, of course, all of the agreements that we just talked about. Some provider contracts for children and youth, and contract with Justice Works Youth Care. I'm guessing that's another vendor associated with.
That's not one I'm familiar with.
No, it is a new one.
Justice Works.
You have the Forest County and 911 agreement on the agenda.
Yes, yeah, I see that as well, yeah. Yep.
Wednesday?
Wednesday?
Yeah, that's the soonest I could get it on.
Isn't that what you were trying to make sure of, that we got that on there pretty quickly?
Yep.
Okay. I don't want to leave out the department/committee updates. Is there anything to update us on, Ken?
I wasn't going to, but as long as this is in front of me, I'll make it very quick. The area in the red, do you know, or when we say the area in the yellow notes where we currently have ambulances in service during the day, when we talk about volunteers. So I'm gonna talk to Josh a little bit about this, but one of our ambulance services that was performing really well, Starbury, is no longer in service during the day, fire or EMS. And the struggle is real. Just wanted to pass that along.
Okay. All right, nothing else? Any general discussion?
Really minor, really, you know what, never mind, I'll just take it up with the department.
And I don't see any need for an executive session. So with that, we shall end our work session. Thanks, everyone.